Happy Sat Stack and Saturday, and welcome everyone to the #1 Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. Also, Bukele calls out the IMF, as well as Max Keiser challenging them to a live debate as they continue to spread their FUD, which is what they do best. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin supply shock could amplify the price in the coming months. Let's get it. Also, it is for everyone. Now at 60 billion worth of Bitcoin, strategies Michael Saylor appeals to the masses. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin bull market great validator comes as the James Wynn long leverage trader gets wiped out of $100 million, which is pretty wild. We'll be sharing this story as well as breaking news, 400,000 Bitcoin in play. According to this analyst, he says it is not a dream. It's coded into Bitcoin, 400,000, send it. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market, all this, plus so much more in today's show. So shout out everyone joining us here and happy Sat Stacking Saturday. I see we got a full jam-packed session. Shout out to the Oracle. For whatever reason, my software is doing the black screen thing, so I'll be obviously checking comments on the phone today. Shout out DNA Noonan. Good to have you here, brother. Always an honor. There's your fist bump. The Oracle says good things. Most of the people aren't working over this weekend. Gives me a chance to get some rest. I know the Oracle's been working hard over there in Vegas. Welcome back home. And hopefully you guys caught all the updates as I've been covering what's been going on in Vegas. Yesterday, we discussed Michael Saylor, Max Keiser, the mayor of Panama City, Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, Ross Ulbricht, and all the greats. But yeah, this is a live stream, tri-stream. I will be streaming over the course of the next couple of hours, and I'm going to go ahead and pin the stream to the top of the profile. That way it's easy for everyone to find it. And also heads up, YouTube is being assholes again. They ultimately removed one of my videos for alleged harmful and dangerous content. And it was ultimately a Bitcoin prediction back when Bitcoin was 40,000. And Bitcoin is now up more than 2.5x since I made the video. But they're declaring ultimately my content is harmful and dangerous, which means they can do the same thing to 3,000 other videos because it's always the same concept. I always lead with a bullish price prediction. So just so you know, the forces of evil are full at play every single year. I get terminated under false pretenses. They eventually give the channel back. Long story short, I've been shadow banned for the past 5 years. That's why I can never increase my subscribers. That's why their algorithm shows me absolutely no love. So to fight back, just follow me on X. Follow me on Rumble, because don't be dependent upon YouTube, because you're being dependent upon the forces of evil. I can wake up any day and 3,000-4,000 videos will disappear like every single year. And I'm sick of the bullshit. So just make sure you're following me on X and Rumble. I just wanted to share that. Shout out everyone for reposting, comment, and quote in the stream. All comments and quotes will get reposted in real time, starting with the Snark Knight. Greatly appreciate that, broski. Shout out Max Keiser, of course, Brandon Martin, Stacy Herbert, and all the legends. Good to have you guys here with us. Shout out On the Button and everyone just finding the stream. But yeah, it's been a wild ride. Preload Biddy hit 112 just literally a week ago. We corrected this week, ironic, the same week of the conference, and now we're starting to pump back in the green again. Happy Sat Stack and Saturday. Welcome to the Bitcoin Cafe with the CNA fam. I got myself a double cup of espresso. You know what to do.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura.
Precisely, Oracle. It's around this time of the year I typically get terminated. And ironic, my videos are starting to get pulled already, so I can already feel it coming. Fairground says, my friend just got his channel closed down because someone reported his content about a type of tent. Insanity. So for me, it's like my videos are harmful and dangerous for making these crazy Bitcoin predictions. Meanwhile, many of these Bitcoin predictions come true. Shit. So now spreading Bitcoin content is harmful and dangerous. What about Jim Cramer, who's been telling you Bitcoin's going to zero? What about Garrett Soloway, who's been telling you to short Bitcoin since it was like $15,000? What about these a-holes? They're allowed to give financial advice, apparently, but if I dare cover a prediction from Tim Draper that Bitcoin could hit 250,000, oh my God, this is harmful and dangerous. Yeah, harmful and dangerous to the powers that be, harmful and dangerous to the banking cartels, harmful and dangerous to Jamie Dimon and his banksters, harmful and dangerous to the lizard folk, harmful and dangerous to the forces of evil we don't trust to begin with. You know what I mean? But just saying, shut out Bitalica, Soggy Saturday, North Carolina. Come get the Nippinator sunshine. Now we're talking. Shut out Sergio, doing big things. Even Trump is wearing a BitcoinCap.net Sergio exclusive. And you know we love supporting Sergio. This is where we get all of our caps. Mad respect, brother. I'm going to go ahead and continue to repost everybody on my secondary account. You guys know what to do. And again, welcome everyone. What are the crowns about? Someone else explain it. They shared yesterday. We just started seeing the crowns. I honestly forgot already. So I honestly don't know, but I guess it's a new phenomena here on YouTube chat. You get crowns, but what they represent, I'm just going to assume it means there's no second best and leave it at that. But I'm sure one of you guys know what it actually really means. Feel free to break it down. Breaking it down, taking it down. That's what's up. But anyways, fam, yeah, welcome everyone joining us. Salute, fam. Make sure to get your espresso on. Again, welcome to the Bitcoin Cafe. I got the stick of sage. I got the bitty cigar. And we're ready to rock. Locked and loaded. Game on. Nippinator indicator in full effect. Let me reopen the YouTube app because just YouTube has been a bitch lately. It showed my number stuck at 11. I know I have more than 11 people watching. Yeah, correct. There's 61 people watching on YouTube right now. There's 204 people watching collectively on the TriStream. We are live also on X and Rumble. It is a TriStream. And as soon as the news is done at the top of the hour from the pod, we're going to flip it to the uncensored Rumble. We'll end the YouTube transmission. And if we can get a nice little pump during today's live stream, maybe we'll flip it into a pump watch. We shall see. We haven't had a pump watch in like a week and a half since we hit the all-time high, 112, 105 and 50, the fear and greed. Shout out to the Dusty Pop. Let's go. Gensler fears, of course, Gensler fears the Nippinator. All lizard folk fear Nip. 1 million, a million now, 400,000, used to be 164. JP Morgan started this. What nonsense. Well, here's the deal. Long term, we're going to hit every single target. Every single target ever shared on this stream. From 250,000 to a million. I dare say till Fidelity's $1 billion forecast. Stick around. Things are going to start heating up. Hello, Mobile, Alabama. Shout out James Smith. Good to have you here as well. Oracle says, read my last comment. Let's see what I missed. The triple espressos in Vegas, JV. I'm way behind. I know. I'm only doing the double. So I got some catching up to do, obviously. That was 62.4. I said 164. We went to 15.878. Is team 149 lower, says Mike.
Take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and
Thank you, Sammy G. Of course, suckers are going to hate. JV is for the people. Couldn't agree more. And in fact, if you're not down with JV and if you're not down with the biddy, here's a fact.
They not like us.
So you're either with us or against us. There's no in between. You either roll with God or Satan. It's your choice. You got to respect free will. So it is what it is. But anyways, we're about to kick off the stream. 164 is coded, says Mike. 158, 149, lower than 164. Keep the comments coming. This is live and interactive. Always appreciate the live and interactive chat. And again, happy Second Saturday. Let me actually pop open this spin drift and get it drifty in here, shall we? Let's get it a little drifty in here.
Yeah, but know what I think it is a nice fine day. 110K is really in play. Most of the chart seems like it's in slow-mo, but the retail crowd will be in big FOMO.
First up and down, the volatility is thick. You know it's just normal, not a fake card trick.
The money is there, all you have to do is bet. Put your money on down and you'll get there yet. Anyone can be rich on crypto. Put your money up, it's a gamble anyhow. But I think the way to Bitcoin.
Let's kick some ass. Amen. Let's kick off this show. The stream, shout out Ray Egan on the track. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, important, smash the likes, go ahead, subscribe, then ring the bell, turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, 7 days a week, just like this. Also, follow me on X and Rumble, because that's for the uncensored version of the pod. If anything were to happen to this channel, which typically happens every year, I get terminated under false pretenses because the forces of evil are on attack. So at least you can continue with the stream. And if you don't know now, you know. But anyways, today is pod episode 2008. I'm your host, JV. It's the last day of the month, May 31st, 2025. Happy Sat Stacking Saturday. Let's kick it off with our market watch. As we do each and every day, you should be able to see Coin 360 pulled up on the screen. Bitcoin finally back in the green after a week-long correction. In fact, just over a week ago, we hit the current all-time high on May 22nd, which is currently 112,000 even. Bitcoin up 0.25% on the daily. Ethereum, BNB, Solana, Tron, XLM all correcting and in the red. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. The current crypto market cap sits at 3.28 trillion. All-time high is 3.75 trillion. Bitty market cap 2.078 trillion. We have 111 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. Volume down 24% on the day, with the Bitcoin dominance coming in today at 63.4%, with the Ether dominance at 9.3%. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours, we got Tau leading the pack, up 9.5%, followed by Kronos up 5%, followed by Story up 4%, then very modest gains as the bulk of the market is correcting and in the red. Which alts are you bullish on for the bull? Holla, let me know and I'll read your comments out loud here shortly. Checking out the crypto bubbles, get a visual perspective on the day. Safe to say the majority of the market correcting. Bitcoin, one of the few actually pumping on the daily. And checking out on the weekly, very similar scenario. I say 95% of the market still correcting, 5% in the green. Checking out for the monthly, I dare say 60-40 red over green. And for the yearly, which we typically don't even look at, you would assume it'd just be green, but no, it's mostly in the red. So the alts haven't been having an alt season this year. Unlike back in 2021 or even in 2017, the alts were ripping like the new Scottie Pippen. Times have definitely changed. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index today, we're dead in the middle of little Italy. Little did we know that we riddled some middlemen who didn't do diddly. 50 with a neutral. Yesterday a 60, last week a 66, and last month a 53. And checking out the infamous time chain calendar. We're on block height 899,242. A few days we'll be hitting 900,000 block. We have 150,758 blocks until the halving in 2028. And as of today, May 31st, 2025, you can exchange one fiat monopoly dollar for 956 sats. So you know what to do. Pick up the sats, put down the gats, and pick up some Bitcoin caps from my man Sergio over at bitcoincaps.net. Get yourself a custom CNA exclusive. And this is the place Max Kaiser, Stacey Herbert, Nayib Bukele, and all the Bitcoin OGs cop their caps, and including Trump now rocking a Sergio exclusive. So if you don't know now, you know. And again, welcome everyone to the live stream. Next up, we'll be pulling up some of the live charts and do a little TA and check out a little analysis paralysis. It was rather entertaining, but I am not amused. I have been waiting almost 4 years for 164, still waiting 1,461 days. For 164, I'm only at 104 today. Well, here's the silver lining. Typically, every cycle, Bitcoin goes up by a factor of 10, adding a zero to the price action. It typically goes up 100% per year on average, virtually every single year. And in fact, in the early years, it would just skyrocket way above and beyond that. But even during these years where the market cap's a lot bigger and we have the institutional adoption, we're still going up insanely. So if you don't have the patience to wait to hit once, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's as simple as holding. As tempting as it is to do some, degeneracy, like 100x trading leverage with some shit coins to try to increase that Bitcoin holdings, you may be better off just holding the Bitcoin, having the patience and waiting. But we will be discussing that 40x leverage trader here in a little bit, and we'll see his track record. He flipped like $200 somehow into $100 million, and it took him years, and then he lost it all this week, which is ironic. But I'll be sharing some of that later on, of course, and all some of the highlights and some bullishness. 400,000 price action. Happy 420 in advance. We have 420 live viewers across the 3 platforms we're streaming on right now. Patience is golden. That's right. And all I'm hearing is hushes. Just a quick hello, fam. Doing a no screen day. I respect that. That's important. If you feel overwhelmed with the EMF, sometimes it's good to just fast from the devices. But I appreciate you checking in nonetheless and holding it down at the Bitcoin Cafe. And happy 420 again. We're fast approaching 420. It's 4:18 p.m. here in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. Shout out Brandon Martin. Appreciate the repost, brother. As always, you're the man. Shoot the Nippinator a snack. Bitcoin is just going to keep pumping. Shout out Johnson. Respect. Shout out Crypto Sir. He's a very funny guy, best Donald Trump impersonator all around, referring to the clip with Sergio with the cap. Mad respect, brother. That's right. In El Salvador, we choose the day to bury the IMF, quoting the great high priest, Your Holiness, Max Kaiser. Chris says JV is live in a tube, then uncensored on Rumble. Hells yeah, and we're going to have a hell of an uncensored session today. Mark my words. Shout out Adam Taylor, Catch JV, live with the Nippinator Stack and the Biddy, Sat, Stack, and Saturday. You already know. Just reposted each and every one of you. Keep the comments a-running and a-coming. We're running. We're running.
All you have to do is to buy and sold. You know what I think it is, a nice fine day. 110K is really in play. Most of the chart seems like it's in slow-mo, but the retail crowd will be in big FOMO. Up and down the volatility is thick. You know it's just normal, not a fake card trick. The money is there, all you have to do is bet. Put your money on down and you'll get there yet.
Shout out Crypto Surge coming through with the blue, the North Carolina blue, that is. Super. Much appreciated. This gong strike is for you, brother. Smash the likes. All the good content is a-coming. Mark my words, lots of bullishness in the market. And again, happy Sat, Stack, and Saturday. Let's now transition into our TA, a.k.a. Astrology for the Baddies. Bitcoin bull run might be delayed as 1045 weekly close becomes the key. And around this time tomorrow, we do get the weekly close. Happy 420. We just hit 420 here. And yeah, this is actually interesting. Bitcoin risk deeper correction as the next phase of the bull market faces a temporary setback. We've been correcting all week. Here's a 1 hour chart. And like I said, I'll pull up the live charts here shortly. Analysis is warning of a sub 100,000 price. And obviously we've been above 100 since we recently crossed the Rubicon here recently. And we hit the 112 all-time high. That was May 22nd. Bitcoin returned below the all-time highs May 31st as the latest correction neared 9,000, below the latest record peak after the bulls encountered resistance from multiple sources. On-chain indicators soon began to forecast a slowdown and bullish momentum. In its latest research report, on-chain analytics platform CryptoQuant said some of Bitcoin's demand metrics may be reaching short-term tops, which could imply a pause of the current rally, as their analysts say here. The estimate of Bitcoin's demand growth in the last 30 days is 229, which is near the previous demand growth top, a 279,000 Bitcoin reached back in 2024. Additionally, the whale-held Bitcoin balances have increased by 2.8% over the past month, meaning the whales are continuing to accumulate as they should. It's the smart money, a pace that often precedes a slowdown and whale accumulation. CryptoQuant added that the unrealized profits were on average over 30% at 111,000. And ironic enough, Serge, that was the last Knicks victory score versus the Pacers at 111. Game on. And as such, market participants, while staying bullish on the return to the price discovery, still see the lower levels first incoming. On the daily chart, Analyst points out Bitcoin broken below the previous all-time high and is facing rejection at the same level. This might look like the start of a deeper correction. Let me know if you agree, disagree with the analyst. He also says the Bitcoin closes below the horizontal support and resistance line on the weekly. We should see a deeper pullback, possibly forming an inverse head and shoulders before the next leg up. And analyst also says bullish interpretation intact as long as the price holds above 73.7. And another analyst retained his midterm target of 137, one in play throughout 2025. CryptoQuant is seeing 120 as the next key magnet for the price action, and later we'll be covering 400,000 target as our feature story, so stick around. But pulling up some of the live charts, we'll do a little live chart action. Jackson Satisfaction, Tony Braxton, Bo Jackson for the baddies, of course. You should be able to see pulled up on your screen here any moment. This is via TradingView, via Coinbase, the largest exchange here in the United States. Looking at the daily, you can see red corrective, or this is actually the hourly, my apologies. We did start pumping here this morning, and then we started trading sideways, and we're currently sitting at just shy of 104.7 at the time of the live stream. Zooming out from the hour, and unfortunately, we don't have that bull 120 target in play that we printed just the other day. It has dispersed. But checking out the 4-hour, bullish this morning, big green 4-hour candle to where we're currently at. And we do actually have the 116 bullish pennant, 116.3 to be more precise, on the 4-hour chart, looking pretty bullish at the current time frame. And again, tomorrow we're going to get a new weekly close. We'll be pulling up the weekly chart here shortly. Checking out the daily chart, you can see 1, 2, 3 consecutive or 4 consecutive daily, red candles. Unfortunately, there's some super bear scenarios I'm not even going to entertain because I'm still overall extremely bullish above 100,000, especially at around 105, which is where we're currently at. But checking out the weekly, we will get a new weekly candle close tomorrow. We had 7 green consecutive weekly candle closes, which may be a new record. I don't recall ever having that long of bullish momentum in a row. And if we would have hit the 8th week, I'm pretty sure that would have been a record, but we're already printing a corrective red. So most likely, unless we get a massive pump between today and tomorrow at this time, we're most likely finally going to get a red candle to end that 7-week consecutive green candle weekly close streak. We also have a rising wedge with a bullish target in play at 124,000, which is a cup of handle. And checking out, next up, we'll check out the monthly and see how we're looking. Obviously, it's the last day of the month, and we do get a nice green candle pretty much, unless we get an extreme amount of bearishness here in the next few hours, but most likely we're printing a pretty substantial, healthy green candle for the month of May. It did not disappoint. April was even more bullish, and let's see as we head into June, and we're fast, getting into the thick of it, still in Q2 of the year. Q1 was pretty corrective after hitting the previous all-time high with the Trumpster, the Trumpinator, which was on Inauguration Day. Then we've been corrective, and we just hit the new all-time high, currently, again, 112. But you let me know where you feel the pretty little bitty is likely to take us next, and I'll read your comments out loud. And next up, we're going to be discussing the FUD from the IMF regarding Pakistan's Bitcoin mining power and strategic reserve, as well as the latest FUD over El Salvador. Max Kaiser and Nayib Bukele strike back, so I'll be sharing some of this controversy and my 2 Satoshis as well. But again, welcome everyone joining the live stream, tri-stream, as we continue with roughly 600 people here on the live stream. My new month tomorrow, new highs incoming. My favorite month is June. Holy shit, is it already approaching your birthday, brother? June 11th? Was it June? Clarify there. The Bitcoin conference made the Guinness record of the most Bitcoin transactions in one day. I did see that. That is fantastic. And congratulations, Bitcoiners are record breakers and trend setters, I should say. Is that pic of your bag them glyphs? I'm not sure what that means. 100 degrees in Idaho. Holy moly. Increasing frequencies, incoming CMEs, plasma discharges, making Bitcoin a little riskier than usual. My Trezor's in a Faraday cage. Smart man, Mike. Very smart man, I shall say. The Oracle is brilliant. I definitely second that. In fact, this gong strike is for you, Oracle. Don't forget to pick up the phone.
Pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up, you got to pump it up.
100% spot on, web newbie. The FUD wars have begun. Yes, June 11th, birthday incoming. Respect, brother. Happy early birthday in advance. JD Vance, that's awesome that your fellow 11th will be celebrating on the stream, brother. Let's freaking go. And Adam says his birthday is only a few days apart. And you guys let me know if it's anyone else's birthday. I'll wish you a happy birthday. Strike the gong, and we'll have a little celebration for you guys. I'm not going to be doing any singing, not my expertise, but we'll do something. And again, welcome everyone joining the live stream, tri-stream. Let me check the X feed. And don't forget to pump it up. Answer your phone, Oracle.
Don't you know? Pump it up, you got to pump it up.
We're pumping it up like a nippinator and a trump. Trumping it up without the trumpet. But the trumpet is blown. Hear the sound of the horns.
Don't you know?
rich on crypto. Put your money up, it's a gamble anyhow. Wish it ain't the way to Bitcoin gold. All you have to do is to buy and sell. Anyone can be rich.
That's awesome. People were laughing when my phone went off at the conference. For those that don't know, that's the Oracle's ringtone to pump it up. Bitcoin Jam. A dance party started every time the phone went off. It was funny as what? Square's adding native Bitcoin payments to the payment system. That's what's up. Shout out Jack Dorsey. Some dare say he's Satoshi. My son is the 14th. Well, happy early advance JD Vance birthday. Biddy birthday for your son there, Fairground, literally in 2 weeks. That'll be literally 2 weeks from today on a Stack and Saturday. Tammy with the Bible verse, 1 John 4:4, because Jesus totally defeated Satan in his own domain, I can now rejoice and be glad that when I am weak in human strength, spirit, soul, body, financially, or socially, I can truly say, and keep the quote coming. You can finish. You probably got cut off there. This is why we all get along so well. Amen. Biddy fam. My adopted daughter is tomorrow. Holy moly, another birthday celebration on June 1st. And then we add one more 1 for the 11, and we got Serge's birthday. I love it. The IMF is losing their grip. Therefore, the gripe. Exactly. Precisely. And we're going to destroy all of the IMF FUD here in a moment. One of my favorite quotes, F the IMF. In fact, we created a whole song surrounding those bars. Let me know if you remember that one. That was the very first El Salvador collabo I did with Shandy 10. And shout out Shandy 10, by the way. Let's freaking go. But anyway, so we're going to continue with the news. We do got lots to share as we do each and every day. And here we don't play at the CNA Cafe, holding it down. So let's continue with the bitty news. Next up, we just did the TA, right? Well, next is the FUD we're going to destroy surrounding the IMF. Let's kick it off with this tweet from Nayib Bukele. The Economist wrote, and FYI, I'll share with you who the primary shareholders of The Economist are, just to give you some insight, but this is what they wrote. When El Salvador's would-be strongman promised to keep people safe from criminals by suspending the rule of law, he succeeded for a while, but now there is no law left to keep Salvadorans safe from their dictator. Talk about a hit piece. Bukele responded, just say you want your gangs killing honest people again. I respect the bluntness of Bukele because that's 100% accurate in my humble opinion. Now check this out. According to Grok, who owns The Economist is owned by The Economist Group, the major stakes held by the Agnelli family, globalists. They own 43% through Exor, and the Rothschild family. You've probably heard of that family before. They own 21%, alongside other globalist shareholders such as Cadbury, Schroeder, and staff. So ultimately, what we're trying to say, the forces of evil don't like good people, and they don't like good things going on the planet. And that goes for the people of El Salvador. My 2 Satoshis is they're looking at what El Salvador did as a potential domino effect that other countries are going to follow in their blueprint and footsteps, in which they will, and it will be the collapse of their globalist control. So they're fighting it by any means necessary. And this headline here, let me read this one to you. IMF raises concerns over Pakistan's Bitcoin mining power plan. I'll share this report because now they're fighting Pakistan just like they've been fighting El Salvador. Max Kaiser, I always respect his perspective. He chimed in, IMF, debate me live. Explain why your Bitcoin position goes against every recommendation by every country and company in the world, seeking greater stability in a world of fiat banksters like yourself, pushing extremely unstable fiat money. Max also says, the IMF said in 2023, when describing El Salvador's Bitcoin adoption, the risks we anticipated never materialized. I would love to live debate an IMF rep. RT, make it happen, Captain. Let's go. He also wrote, for 20 years, I remain undefeated, debating wanker banksters on live TV, exposing their pomposity, lies, intellectual dishonesty, and obviously corruption. I would love an IMF scalp to hang in my trophy case. Have your people call my people chumps. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's why we all love your holiness, Max Kaiser, Bitcoin strategic man behind Bukele in El Salvador, alongside, Stacy with the Bitcoin office. But let's dive a little deeper into their latest FUD against Pakistan. The IMF has raised concerns over Pakistan's decision to allocate 2,000 megawatts of electricity for Bitcoin mining and artificial intelligence data centers amongst ongoing negotiations tied to the country's extended financial program. And if you missed it at the Bitcoin conference in Vegas, Pakistan announced adopting a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So, of course, the IMF globalist elite are going to begin FUDing, which is precisely what we're witnessing. The initiative announced last week designed to attract autonomous miners, blockchain companies, and AI firms to Pakistan. However, the IMF raised the red flags about the move, requesting urgent clarification for the ministry regarding the legality of the crypto mining and the power allocations, particularly as the nation struggles with chronic, sign me up, please, energy shortages and fiscal pressures, according to the report. Now, per the report, the IMF was not consulted, so why are they FUDing? No one asked for your opinion, IMF. But you already know. They wrote here the fear of further talks from the IMF on the initiative. An official involving the ongoing negotiation reportedly said the economic team's already facing stiff questions, and this move has only added to the complexities of the talks. The IMF delegation currently conducting virtual discussions with Pakistani officials. So my understanding, they're going to do everything in their power to try to convince Pakistan that it's the wrong move and that it's dangerous for your people, it's dangerous for the economy. But the reality is it's just another domino falling as more and more countries follow in the footsteps of Bitcoin president Bukele with Bitcoin Country, which turned their country around from the most violent capital, the murder capital of the entire world, to the safest country there is. So now the safest in the Americas, and that apparently goes against the IMF religion. Lord forbid there's safety and there's no more gangs and corruption due to the fiat monopolies. But you already know. Let me know your thoughts surrounding that. Do you think the IMF will just continue to FUD until the wheels fall off? Will they eventually come around? I'm not holding my breath. I think they're going to continue to do their FUD. This is a war, in my humble opinion, and Bitcoiners are clearly winning the revolution led by peace, love, and light, while the fiat globalists are trying to continue to push their fiat monopolies, which perpetuate war, violence, and all those negative things we're trying to rid on this planet. But with that being shared, you guys let me know your thoughts. I'm going to read some more of your comments. F the IMF. I'm going to strike the gong for that one. F the IMF. Appreciate sharing your invaluable analysis and content. You're welcome, Tourage. I was just basically scamming free drinks as long as I can drink. Oh, snap, Adam. Welcome, Knoxville, to the stream. Let me know if that was the proper comment I read there. Oracle, El Salvador trip incoming for me, number 2 in weeks. Shout out Robert O'Connor. I also may be visiting Bitcoin Country in June. I put it out there. I'm hoping to create some content with Max, but we shall soon see. I'm definitely going to be there in January for the Max and Stacy Invitational 2.0, which I'm looking forward to. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, and then they fight you. Exactly. Best of luck, because we're going to sick the nip on them. And you already know how Nippinator get down. Nippinator ain't playing. I agree 100% with JV. Well, thank you, Tammy, and mad respect. And everyone just joining our live stream. Looks like we're up to 800 people on the live stream, tri-stream. Shout out Giovanni. He put great video, JV. Respect, brother. Just hit you with a repost. Again, Sergio, mad respect. You got the Trumpinator rocking the Bitcoin caps. Gotta love it. Shout out Fairground. Go Bitcoin, make us rich, baby. Keeping it fair. Holding it down. Oh, yeah, man. Okay, there's the comment, JB. Let me see. There's a company called Giga that is selling power plants to miners. A 1 gigawatt miner power plant is reasonably priced, equals about 1 cent per kilowatt hour, I would assume. Wow, good to note there, Oracle. Appreciate the insights. Nippinator going on tour. That's right, it's a world tour. Precisely. Name one country that IMF has actually helped in our lifetime? None. Have they helped any get out of debt? No. They just put them in worse debt to have more control over them. Because that's how criminals, drug traffickers, and wanksters and banksters get down. But you already know. You already know.
On crypto, put your money up. It's a gamble anyhow. Wishing ain't the way to Bitcoin.
Like I said, You now know who is behind the FUD. It's the globalists. It's the rich families that control the planet. I threw some names out there. I'm not going to repeat them, but most all the mainstream FUD that we read is typically coming from the same families that are pulling the strings. They control virtually everything. So they do it through conglomerates like BlackRock. If you haven't figured that one out, hence why they're an $11 trillion asset manager. They control financial markets. They create financial markets. And they're responsible. They're responsible. The central banking cartels and the people, the groups, the lobbyists, and the people in control of these big corrupt organizations. Very wealthy globalists. Learned a lot about the miners, the power plants, and other things at the conference. Good to hear. I know you're in the mining business, and I know you got some phenomenal tech. So more power to you, Oracle. Love it. So I agree, Greg. They're not here to help anybody. They're really here to, well, let me straighten that out. If you're a corrupt president, they'll give you tons of money. And then you'll never be able to pay it back, and then they'll have control of your resources. A good read is Confessions of Economic Hitmen. It'll show you how the IMF really gets down and their power play of how they control nations. They do it through the World Bank, and hence, the fiat apocalypse in full play. Bond apocalypse now. Fiat is collapsing. Bonds are collapsing. Max is calling for 2.2 million in play. F the IMF each and every day, 7 days a week. Every day I stream. We scream. Fuck the IMF. We don't need them, F the IMF. This is a freedom play. In El Salvador, freedom reigns. BTC, tax-free from gangs. 100K, Bitcoin, babe. 100K, 6 figs all day. 100K, Bitcoin today. 100K, Bitcoin to stay. 100K, Bitcoin Super Saiyan. Bitcoin Super Saiyan. Stacking BTC like I'm in the ball league. Stacking BTC like it's Dragon Ball Z. Stacking BTC like Gohan versus Satoshi. Stacking BTC fast as Master Roshi. Stacking BTC like Max on RT. Set the Kaiser report free. Set the Kaiser report free. It's the global insurrection against banker occupation. Hang the bankers. We're running out of patience. Start with Jamie Dimon. Sick of all his statements. Put that shit up on Netflix. Respect this. Pet rocks on the checklist. Off with his head. Rock that bitch on my necklace. Stacking bits like I'm reckless. Stacking bits like it's Tetris. Stacking bits like it's my breakfast. Baby. Don't get me started. Bitty bros, where you at? But anyways, we're going to continue with the news. Hopefully you appreciate some of the bitty bars. Let's go. Next story of the day, I dare say, fuck the IMF. We gonna be okay. We don't need them, This is a freedom play. But yeah, next story of the day, Bitcoin supply shock could amplify the price. Income and supply shock, very minimal amount of the biddies left on the exchanges. And what's going to happen is, it's common sense. It's basic supply demand. When you got a massive amount of unprecedented demand backed by institutions and Bitcoin treasury companies and countries and very limited supply even available, it's going to send shockwaves through the price. Parabola, new all-time high, 2.2 million in play is all I got to say. Don't be Diddy and don't be gay. Bitcoin entering a period of supply shock that could have more dramatic price implications than the previous cycles. According to the head of research at banking group Singum, if I'm pronouncing that one right, large demand will have the strong multiplier effect, meaning every dollar demand leading to, say, 20 to 30 bucks of additional market cap. Let's get it. We have already seen this multiplier effect after the launch of the Bitcoin ETFs and around the U.S. elections. They cited the limited liquid supply of the Bitcoin relative to the large pools of institutional capital, the institutional FOMO like a mofo, the demand side as a reasonable possible spike for the biddy over the coming months. This liquid supply has been falling steadily over the past 1.5 years, not least because of the proliferation of the Bitcoin acquisition vehicles, such as Strategy, 21 Capital. That's the new one from Jack Mallers, backed by the Lycans, Cantor Fitzgerald, and Tether, USDT, amongst the others. And it seems every day we got a new Bitcoin treasury company being birthed. But will they hold down the company like the Giga Chad has been able to do since 2020 through the bear markets? That's the $1 million question. Will they survive? Let me know your thoughts. She also noted structural factors contributing to the bullish forecast of the Biddy, including increased regulatory clarity, macroeconomic pressure, and the Bitcoin growing appeal as a deflationary asset. The Bitcoin ETF has seen just 4 days of outflows since April 16th, and now Bitcoin consolidation. This could be the healthy pause. Analysts are calling for 200,000 to 300,000 in play, but stick around. I'll be sharing a 400,000 target baked into the code. And you already know, 420 base for the broskies. But let me get back to the commenting. We'll also be sharing the latest from the Giga Chad, Michael Saylor, and then regarding James Wynn losing 100 million in his hyper long position, and then we'll discuss the 400,000 pretty bitty price target. And if you don't know, now you know. Welcome everybody to the motherfucking show. Everybody, bitty, gang, gang, bang, bang. Huge data centers are highly sophisticated, highly virtualized, can run thousands of workloads, and as Bitcoin mining is just one application. The price goes up. Yay. Diddy behind bars. He's gay. I have 6 ant miners. Holy moly. JV spitting that fire. That's right. Want to know who's the best? Dylon, because I spit the hot fire. Shout out Chappelle if anyone recognizes the Diddy skit from back in the day. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we're up to 900 on the stream. Don't forget to comment, quote, if you're enjoying the stream. I'm going to repost everybody. Steven, always a pleasure. Broski, let's go. Crypto news alerts. That's right. Shout out Sweet Bitty McGee. Good afternoon. JV, let's pump it up. Pump it up. And we do it like.
All you have to do is to buy and sell. On crypto, put your money up. It's a gamble anyhow, wish it ain't the way to Bitcoin gold. All you have to do is to buy and sell. Anyone can be rich on crypto, put your money up. It's a gamble anyhow, wish it ain't the way to Bitcoin gold. All you have to do is to buy and sold. Anyone can be rich on crypto, put your money up.
And shout out Ray Egan on the track. I rip and I rhyme. I rhyme and I rip. That's the one. That's the one, brother. Glad you guys get the reference. This new Dave is an imposter. Oh, no. What Dave you referring to there, brother? Hit the likes, legends. It's free to do so. And another reminder, my channel can get terminated on YouTube any day now. They're already deleting videos. So make sure you're following me on X and Rumble because every year my channel gets terminated. I've been shadow banned for 5 years. They claim my content promotes harmful and dangerous content, but we all know it's only harmful and dangerous to the bankers, the lizard folk, and the forces of evil trying to control the planet right now. So very important. Follow me on rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. And when we're done with the podcast segment of the stream and the news, we're going to end the YouTube and we'll continue uncensored exclusive on X and Rumble. So thank you guys in advance. We still got a couple of more stories to share with you as well. Thank you, JC Ice, and everyone make sure you're following our moderators on X. They have great content, hence why they're our moderators. And she has a great account. It's just JC Ice. But JC, be sure to please pick up the phone.
Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up.
Shout out Happy Hodler, keeping it happy. Happy days. Lizards hating, JV. I mean, lizards are going to hate. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? They're trying to convince us to get the Ozempic with the lizard venom. Just say no to the lizard venom. I'm going to give you a little cheat code. If you're looking to lose weight, avoid the lizard venom at all costs. And go on a motherfucking diet. How about that? Change your diet and do a little exercise. Sweating is good. Get rid of the toxins in the body. Don't continue to maintain the same diet, which is unhealthy, and not exercise, and just take the lizard venom because you're going to end up turning into a lizard. You may even grow a tail. There's no telling. Nippinator will chase you. He hates lizards. Chases the iguanas. He don't care if they're 100 times the size of the nip. He's not afraid. He's not scared. He ain't running. He's coming. Watch out. Janet Yellen. He's coming for you, Mr. Gensler. Wherever the Nippinator may be at, we'll summon him. Game on. Moon in June. Let's go. There is no second best. There's a crypto asset. It's called Biddy. No Diddy. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong with injecting Gila monster venom? Yeah, I mean, sounds amazing. You mean to tell me I don't got to change my diet? I can stick to the McDonald's and the seed oils? Wowzers. I can stick to the Lay's potato chips and the Doritos? Sure, sign me up. I'll take 3 dosage, please. Give me enough of the lizard venom so I can grow a tail coming out of my head, like a rhino. Sounds fantastic. What can go wrong there? Good old lizard venom. The fountain of youth. I never been deficient in in monster venom. Yeah, you too. You're not alone. I've never been deficient in the lizard venom either. I prefer not have it in my bloodstream. Just saying. Call me old school, but I'll stick to the change of the diet. I'll flip the diet around if I have to. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but JV, you just take the lizard venom, bro. The doctor says it's perfectly safe. Yeah, and then independent studies show you can get the big C or the turbo C, get the thyroid C, get a weak heart. What else does that do to you? What else can go wrong? No wonder I'm canceled. I don't even know it yet. There was a hilarious video I saw the other week about my wife or the fat wife meetup. Oh my God. My wife took the shots. It didn't take it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, but yeah, F the lizard folk. You already know. Strike the gong, sip some Spindrift, get some caffeine in the bloodstream. No lizard venom for me. Call me old school. Not even Nippinator will take the lizard venom. We'll stick to the ivermectin. Fuck around, find out parasites. And I have a story. I mean, I'll probably get canceled for that one too. But I did post on X that ivermectin completely cured my incurable eczema in 3 days. Something doctor said was incurable. You got to just deal with it for the rest of your life. Dermatologist, sorry, there's no cure. Just keep coming back to us and get the shots, get the poison shots. You'll be able to deal with it. But Lord forbid, ivermectin, and so I'll probably get canceled for that too. But JD, you can't say such a thing. I know. What'd they do to Dr. Sebi? He discovered the cure for virtually every disease. They off him. But he published some books, and so that information is out. Many ways to combat the big C, the turbo C, but they don't share any of those things. The doctor's not recommending any of that. So go figure. But ivermectin is a miracle drug. I'm sure you guys have figured it out by now. But they weaponized it during Novid. I wonder why. And maybe it puts these big pharma, companies backed by Bill Gates out of business. Maybe that's why. But anyways, take your lizard venom, eat the bugs, and be happy. As long as you have a cigar. I mean, what are we going to do? I may even have to light the sage just to make sure Gensler's not lurking today. Go to Vegas, run your arse off for a week and lose 10 pounds. That's what I'm saying. Florida's starting to eat the lizards like the alligators. Yeah, it's gross. I don't get that. I like lizards personally, like lizards, not lizard people. I despise parasites and reptilians, just to be clear. Lizards, I'm a fan. I like lizards. I have nothing against them. They eat the bugs. If a lizard gets in the house, I don't even chase them out. Maybe Nippinator will. But I welcome them. Eat the flies. Get the gnats. I'm sick of the gnats in the airspace, whatever it takes. But anyways, 110 in play, homie. Rest in peace, Dr. Sebi. Amen. And rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle, the great.
It's a gamble anyhow. Wishing ain't the way to Bitcoin go. All you have to do is to buy and sell. Anyone can be rich on crypto. Put your money up. It's a gamble anyhow. Wishing ain't the way to Bitcoin go. All you have to do is to buy and sell.
All right, fam, here's our next story. The latest from, actually, we've got 3 more, I think. We have the $100 million trader loss. We have some insights from Michael Saylor, and then the 400,000 target. So let's just move right into it. And again, welcome everyone joining the live stream, TriStream. Headline here, it's for everyone. With 60 billion in Bitcoin strategies, Michael Saylor appeals to the masses. He gave the keynote speech on the last day of the conference. I did post it, I think it was yesterday, on my X account. It's maybe 20 minutes or so. Make sure to watch it if you haven't watched it already, and make sure you guys are following me over on X. But you should be able to see my screen here. Let's run through this real quick. We still got a lot more to share. Strategy CEO Mikey Saylor touted Bitcoin as virtually foolproof path to wealth creation. Couldn't agree more. I got to do his hodl, fam. From business owners to families and even one's enemies in his speech at the keynote he gave during the roughly 35-minute presentation entitled 21 Ways to Wealth. And again, I posted the entire thing on my X account. The famous Bitcoin maxi said the world's oldest crypto is perfected capital, championing its incorruptible, programmable nature. He urged his audience to buy more of the Biddy and enrich yourselves. Bitcoin is engineered to outperform everything. And of course, juicing demand for the Biddy would likely benefit Saylor and strategy, boosting the value of the company holdings. The firm added billions of dollars in Bitcoin to the corporate treasury this month alone, bringing the total holdings to now 580,000, which means they own more than 3% of the Bitcoin supply. And do you think he's slowing down anytime soon? I think not. And although speaking before the Bitcoiners, the executive stressed his sales pitch was largely for the crypto-curious listeners watching via the live stream. He was looking to orange pill the masses like a young blackberry molasses. And not just the multi-billion-dollar companies. It's for everyone, Saylor claimed. And that's Mikey the Saylor Man. Toot toot. Take your fiat currency, trade it for the Biddy. Take your long-term capital, trade it for the Biddy. Sell your bonds, trade them for the Biddy. Sell your inferior equity, sell your inferior real estate property, and buy Bitcoin. I even heard he gave the Trump family some advice. He said, mortgage your mansion or property in Mar-a-Lago and buy some Biddy. Couldn't agree more. The strategy executive also urged his listeners to embrace AI tools, touting their ability to transform the average person into 100 super geniuses. Quoting the GigaChat here, I tell all my execs, before you ask for a lawyer, before you ask for a banker, before you ask any expert, go ask AI. Make it think, grind, the silicon overlord. Hey now. Saylor recently shared the strategy used AI to help craft its unique stock offerings to help power the firm's bountiful Bitcoin buys, or bountiful, I should say. His Bitcoin acquisition spree has inspired a growing number of firms to stockpile the Biddy, with public companies like Metaplanet, Semler Scientific, and most recently GameStop CEO announced their first Bitcoin buy, which we covered just above $500 million. Why so bearish, GameStop? I heard you're sitting on billions. Similarly, institutional investors also increasingly invested in Bitcoin via the ETFs, pouring billions of dollars into the spot ETFs over the past year and a half since their debut in the U.S. BlackRock's ETF recorded nearly $6 billion worth of the inflows in May, once all was said and done, coming close to the monthly record. Investors' growing appetite for Bitcoin has pushed Bitcoin to a new all-time high of 112, which I believe that was on May 22nd. But let me know if you got to listen to the Michael Saylor speech, the keynote in particular. And again, if you didn't, check show notes below the video in the description and make sure to check it out. Next up, we're going to be discussing the Bitcoin bull market great validator, James Nguyen, losing $100 million in his leveraged trades. And then we'll discuss the $400,000 target, and we'll go from there. But check in the comments again. Welcome everyone. Close to 1,200 people on the live stream, TriStream, baby. Black seed oil for the motherfucking win. Yeah, black seed oil is phenomenal. Glad it's working for you, Serge. Always keeping it fair. We just got to get rid of the lizard folk. That's what I'm saying. Welcome, Randall. Welcome. My dentist wants to sell his practice. I don't blame him. Just better off stacking the Biddy. Retire. Do nothing. Hodl. You ain't got to see any patients. I'm like an out-of-work doctor. I got no patience. Just hodl the Bitcoin and get rich. And if you can hodl for frickin' 3 cycles, you're going to be mega rich. Welcome to the mega rich. Just saying. But yeah, yo, I'd rather be out of debt than risk an equity loan to buy the Biddy. I'll just keep dollar cost averaging. I mean, to each their own. There's no right way or wrong way. I think the bigger picture, stack sats and fuck the bullshit. That's the new motto. Stack sats. Fuck the bullshit. What is that? FTBS. F the bullshit. Stack the sats. How you acquire the sats is irrelevant. If you acquire sats this way or that way, there's an old proverb. There's a million ways to climb up a mountain. And as long as you get to the top, It don't matter how you got there. I just made that proverb up, but shit, it makes sense the more you think about it. And let me reference another metaphor I recently created. They say, don't put all your eggs in one basket, JP. I say, I put all my eggs in one basket because the basket is filled with the best egg, which happens to be the Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin is protected by God's firmament. There is an impenetrable dome, a shield, a protection, and no one can fuck with the Biddy. Game on, not even Diddy. So that's what I'm saying. Rack and stack, baby. Locked and loaded. Biddy exploded. You know what I mean? JB sent you a DM with the Fat Wife support group. Vid for your enjoyment later. Me and the Nippinator will be laughing. Thank you, Casey. My company is paying me the Biddy through the strike. Getting paid in the Biddy is my favorite way to get paid. I second that. I think if you're earning money, the best thing you can do is earn the hardest asset of all time. You can get paid in Bitcoin. You can get paid half in Bitcoin. There's platforms that allow you to do that. She just referenced Strike. And there's others like OpenNode as well. If you're a business owner, you can accept Bitcoin and people can still pay with a credit card or debit card, whatever the most common payment method is, and they'll convert it in real time to whatever you choose. You can get paid 75% Bitcoin, 25% fiat just to pay the bills, 50-50, 90% fiat, 10% Bitcoin, 100% Bitcoin. You're in control of your own destination. Just saying. So something to entertain, especially as a business owner. I mean, wouldn't you rather accept Bitcoin than only fiat, or at least give people the option? Maybe incentivize them where if they pay in Bitcoin, they get a 10% discount. Like, for example, if I owned a hat company like Sergio, I'd be like, yo, pay in Bitcoin, you get a 10% discount. Encourage, convince, you know what I mean? Convince people to pay in their Bitcoin. Give them an incentive and they'll do it. Same thing with the Bitcoin conferences. I'm sure you can pay in Bitcoin, get a little discount. Why not? It's a win-win. And then you don't got to deal with all the bullshit merchants, which are a pain in the ass. My background's affiliate marketing, and the biggest nightmare with affiliate marketing was always the merchants, the processors. And you'd always have to deal with their bullshit or shenanigans, and they shut you down. They, PayPal steals your money. They freeze your account for 6 months for no reason. This type of shit. So it's like, what a great solution. Peer-to-peer. Fuck the bullshit. FTBS. Just saying. But yeah, let's continue with our next story today. Don't forget to smash the likes, repost the stream. Let's discuss this leverage trader, and then we'll discuss the $400,000 target. So these are our final two stories of the day, and then we'll flip it to the uncensored version of the pod. Bitcoin bull market great validator comes as James Wynn loses $100 million. I wanted to share a tweet he shared. The more of these exchanges try and fuck me, the more I'm coming for them. Multiple of my exchange accounts have been closed overnight for nothing. You know why? Because I'm a pro decentralization, anti-corruption. I am pro-hyperliquid. I am anti-market making manipulation. Come at me. My records are clean. My trades are clean. My source of funds legit. My taxes have been paid. Millies. Come at me. I'll use it to my advantage. You have nothing on me. I am a meme coin degen and a high leverage gambler. All money, all wallets, clean like a jelly bean. Never taken a dollar to shill a shit coin. Never done a pump and dump. Just worked my way up from the bottom. Started from the bottom. Now we here. On chain. But when you start locking my accounts, you're making me want to talk to the Moonpig team about becoming the next high leverage, taking all you mofos down. Sorry, I'm a tad drunk, slightly pissed. They're turning this into a war. I was built for this shit. I live for the war. I only read Sun Tzu. And lawyer up. Unblock my accounts or I'm going public. So you're going ham right here. But anyways, let's dive a little deeper into what's going on. Pretty hilarious. But anyways, Bitcoin profit taken need to be assigned that the bull market is nearing the end, according to sentiment. Analyzing the mean dollar invested age metric, length of the time coin spent to the wallets without the movement. It revealed the supply has begun to activate since mid-April. During the most bull cycles, a falling, meaning average holding wallets are getting younger, validated that the bullish momentum will continue. More technically, a falling line indicates that the old coins are being brought back into the circulation, allowing the utility to rise and the asset of the network to grow and flourish. Since mid-April, tension began to ease over the initial tariff announcement. Bitcoin MDIA has been dropping steadily. Oh no, end of the world. The average time the coins are held in the wallet decreased modestly over the past 6 weeks to 426 days, 443, while the signals their own owners seek to lock profits. Sentiment argues such behaviors are necessary to help help keep a rally alive. This adds weights to the argument. The market is in an active phase, not just beginning the driven short-term speculation. And back to this leverage trading, check it out. Despite the sentiment, conspicuously bullish analysts, consensus seeing healthy support, retesting before the upside continuation. Now, sentiment was amongst those commenting on the fate of one whale in particular, referencing Hyperliquid's James Nguyen, who we've been covering all week, whose long Bitcoin position was liquidated for $99 million as the price hit the 105 mark, and it was official. It was verified by Sentiment as well as other online, analytics firms. When major longs get liquidated, the prices typically move down sharply because of the major capital is no longer propping up the price. And I'm actually going to go to James Nguyen, and you can follow this trader as well. He's definitely entertaining. I just started following him more recently. But let's see some of the other recent posts that he has shared. People are feeling sorry for him, like, dude, you lost 100 million. But he's like shooting it right back in their face, like, yo, I'm grateful to be in a position to lose 100 million because trust me, he's ultimately still bragging. He is a millionaire, so I wouldn't be like, crying over this guy. But Andrew Tate wrote here, I'm a James Nguyen fan, the highest level of capability, true Zen, understanding nothing is real and nothing matters. Money isn't real. The simulation endlessly rewards the brave, always has, always will. And it is amazing how bravery in and of itself solicits hate from cowards. And I already read you some of his, insights here, but he believes the exchanges are trying to mess him. He also says, I don't even want to touch on the topic, but I'm going to dab on it briefly. For those saying I round tripped 100 million, that's a very cheap word in crypto. I flipped 3 to 4 million on perps into 100 perpetual, into 100 million, ended up negative 13 million. Y'all act like gods, like y'all had cashed out, etc. Did it dawn on you I didn't even intend to cash out the 100 million? Why would I? For perspective, sometimes 10,000 will change someone's life. Sometimes 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, sometimes a billion, 10 billion, 100 billion. Everyone's in their own league. Everyone has their own goals. For me, it's all or nothing. But my nothing is still a very happy place. So I don't encourage my kind of bets to anyone, but either way, I'm coming back for it all. Jay Nguyen will be back. We'll be back when nobody, including the corrupt market makers, directly attack me multiple times when they ain't ready for it. I came in at the wrong time. I came in when they had too much selling power, over and out, at a party this evening, but just thought I'd share this while I'm taking a dump in the toilet. Enjoy your weekend. I mean, if that's not entertainment, I don't know what is. But yeah, my understanding is that trader got his come up on Pepe. He started with just a couple of $100 over the years, turned it into 100 million, and this week alone lost that 100 million. Mind-boggling. Welcome to the degeneracy of crypto. And if you don't know, now you know. Next, we'll be discussing a 400,000 target baked into the code. It's programmed this cycle. And then we'll do our Q&A, and we'll flip it to the uncensored version of the pod. But I want to read your comments here, Famalam. Happened a few times before with a much bigger audience. Says Adam, things that don't require a lawyer until after. Sounds like me whenever I get my account locked, except I send them private emails and told them I would do things. I went full Portnoy or Port MSTY this week with my retirement account. I'm wishing you the best, just the guy. Plan on compounding till November. Anyone who has 100 million on an exchange is a dum-dum. Well, what if he happens to be a billionaire? Is he still a dum-dum? Let me know. Market makers always hunt for stupid trades. Yeah, I think one of the mistakes is publicizing these insane trades with insane leverage, because the market maker and the people are going to figure out how to liquidate you, because misery loves company. So if people can figure out how can we liquidate this mofo and get him a massive L, they're going to figure the shit out. Working with the market makers, working with the lizard folk, working with Bill Gates, whatever it takes. They got to work with Fauci. They're going to work with Fauci. Let's go 400 G's. Crazy, though. But yeah, to most of you guys, you're like, why would you even want to trade at 100 million? I just cash out and be set for life. Well, maybe he's already been there and it's boring at 100 million and he wants to risk it for the biscuit. Risk it all. All or nothing. Maybe he's like, I'm turning this into $1 billion or going home with nada. I can care less. I'll do it again. Did it before. I'll do it again, por favor. Who knows? But everyone has different goals, right? Plenty of dumb crypto millionaires. Got to be so dumb. Crypto billionaires. Some people like donating money to nothing. Maybe it was a donation. Only 155 watching with 47 hits for the like. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. If you don't hit the like right this very second, there's one thing for sure.
They not like us. They not like us.
If you're like us, you know what to do. Because if you're not, nip, fuck them up. Precisely what we'll do. You've been warned. And we're about to transition into our feature story of the day. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Bitty broskies. My Bitcoin wallet went over the waterfall in the wood barrel. And sad to say, it didn't even make a good thing I had for the CNA for me to cheer it up. Well, here's the good news, bitty broskies. Our Bitcoin is that much more scarce. BringFax has officially lost all of his Bitcoin in the waterfall. It happens to the best of us, brother, but it's a beautiful thing. So thank you. I appreciate you. Let's send JB in the nip, keeping it fair. Shout out to the fairground, keeping it fair. Stacking the biddy, because the biddy is rare. Precisely. Medium rare. Highly rare. This is entertainment. Precisely. You're not going to get entertainment like this anywhere else on the tube. Saw someone the other day, shows the screen of the smartphone, over 70,000 Bitcoins. I fainted. Oh my God. Being in Mensa isn't a prerequisite for the choosing of the winning of the meme. I saw plenty of rented Lambos in Vegas. Waste of money. But you do what you want. Exactly. Got to respect thy free will. God made us that way. We just surpassed 1,300 on the stream, living a bitty dream. And you know what time it is. Are you ready? Mom Spaghetti, Nippinator, looks calm and ready to drop bombs, but he keeps on forgetting stacking the biddy. Sat stacking Saturdays with no diddy. I dig it. But anyways, now for our feature story of the day. 400,000 Bitcoin this cycle is not a dream. That's right. According to this analyst, let's break this baby down. He actually tweeted right here. Bitcoin is coded to 400,000. And this is from Kyle Chasse, analyst, who says he's been championing Bitcoin since 2012. And obviously that was the year of the first halving, which would make him an OG. And he shares this chart which shows the global M2 money supply, which ultimately is insinuating money printer go brr, setting Bitcoin parabolic. And if you don't know now, you know. I also like to point out my personal target for my base case for this year is 420, which is right in alignment with Kyle Chasse. Am I based? Absolutely, specifically for the baddies and the broskies. My bull scenario is a 1.1 mil, half of that of Max Kaiser, your holiness, your high priest, who's calling for 2.2 million. And my bear scenario, which means the absolute low for this year, in my humble opinion, 222,000, yay, nay. Do you agree? Holla, let me know, and let's dive a little deeper into Kyle Chasse. He says the Bitcoin price tends to follow the global M2 money supply with a 90-day lag. He matched the daily close on the Bitstamp exchange against the world M2 data, shifted 3 months back. That overlay shows that when the global liquidity climbs, the biddy often rises after roughly 90 days. Which is practically 3 months, right? Bitcoin first spiked above 109 this past January. I believe that was the previous all-time high, inauguration day, Jan 20th to be precise. Then it fell below 74. Just picture this volatility. We hit 109 Jan 20th, then we dumped to 75, and before you know it, we just hit a 112 all-time high on May 22nd. Talk about extreme volatility. Some people don't like the volatility. I say, send me more volatility. I'm hodling, baby. And based on the lag money supply trend, it feels like a pause. Menopause, I dare say, ladies, in a bigger up-down cycle rather than the end of the rally. That's what I'm saying. Next leg up incoming, broskies. The growing money figures. Global M2 stood at around 98 trillion at the early of 2023. It rose to just over 108 trillion by the early 2024. Then the growth, it slowed down, and Bitcoin spent some time below 80. Oh no. And lately, the M2 passed 111 trillion. Another divine omen. 111. And based on those numbers, reports say the biddy upside can stretch into mid-2025 as the liquidity stays strong. And as you can see outlined here on X, Bitcoin is coded for 400,000 per coin. The $1 million question, when? I personally think it's going to happen this year. But I want to know your thoughts, fam-a-lam, in the comments, and we'll dive deeper into the targets here. Chasse projects Bitcoin may hit 400 G's, baby, if the global M2 keeps growing. And I already know it's going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to print. It is coded, he says. Couldn't agree more. That means roughly a 270% jump. Come on, jump around, jump up, and stack biddy. You already know. And based on this model, investors watching liquidity trends might see the big gains, though it won't be smooth. It never is. Now, other experts point out that the money supply isn't the only driver. There's other alternatives. Real interest rates, policy shifts, on-chain signals, macroeconomics. This can speed up or slow down the moves. If the central banks turn to hawkish, for example, like the hawk to a girl and hawk to a spit on that thing, the higher rates can undercut the Bitcoin even if the M2 ticks up. That's right. And based on the report from the Global Macro Investor, the Global M2 leads the biddy by about 12 weeks. Holy moly. That's a 3-month run-up. That gives traders a rough timetable. And if the M2 growth really slows in the coming months like a turtle, Bitcoin may hodl or hurdle its ground to crack first. But on the flip side, any fresh liquidity surge could set the stage for new highs. But you guys let me know your thoughts. 420, is it coded into the biddy? Will we hit 420 for the broskies this cycle? Holla at your boy, and welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream. We're going to end the YouTube transmission and continue with the uncensored version of the pod, exclusive on Rumble and X. So if you're on YouTube, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck out of here. See you on the Rumble. And the YouTube transmission should be ending any moment. And we're going to continue the stream for an additional hour.